Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Camping with God. Live in booths for 7 days, so your descendants will know that I had the Israelites live in booths when I brought them out of Egypt. Leviticus 23:42 and 43. Jacques Duquesne, one of my seminary teachers, used to make fun of everyone who said they liked camping. There's no way anyone could actually enjoy camping, he'd say. Just think about what you're doing. Sleeping on the hard ground, eating lousy food, sitting out in the heat or the cold all day, spending hours just to cook a meal, and going to the bathroom in places you'd avoid at all costs on any other normal day. I completely disagreed with this man because I've always loved camping. I love the outdoors. I love sitting around a bright, crackling campfire and looking up at thousands of stars. I love the festivity of setting up a tent and cooking on a camp stove. However, the last time I went camping, I was about 6 months pregnant, and I do have to admit that when I walked about a mile to the bathroom 7 times each night, or simply tried to roll over in my sleeping bag, I began to think, maybe that guy had a point. Leviticus 23 tells us that God instructed His people to go camping. God set up a 7-day festival in the fall. During this time, they were to live in tents because after He brought them out of Egypt, they lived in tents in the desert. This happy festival enabled the Israelites to relive this rescue from 400 years of slavery in Egypt. Later, after they were in the land of Canaan, it continued to remind them that God had delivered them and put them in the land He had promised Abraham centuries before. Many Jews continue to celebrate this festival even now. It's called Sukkot in Hebrew, or Festival of Booths. They build shelters of trees and branches, sometimes in front of their yards. Friends and family would come by and sit in the booths and visit and eat with them. This is a hands-on reminder that the God of heaven came down to earth and brought His people out of slavery and into the promised land. Next time you're camping, try to think of an entire nation of people living this way in the middle of a barren desert for 40 years. But also remember, as you set up your tent and build a fire, that God has rescued you from slavery to sin and death. So while you're lounging in the great outdoors, take a moment to remember that and thank Him for your freedom. May God bless you today.